Hello everyone. We all must have seen or passed through the doors which is access enabled, where we can pass through after the successful verification. These doors can be the door of your office, or at your residence, or at server room doors, or even the server racks. And this list goes on. Those all doors are installed and configured in such a way so that only the authorized person can access it to avoid the threat. And in this video, we are going to cover the basic of access control to understand how it works, what are the key components involved. By the end of this video, you will have a solid understanding of access control system and its component as well as use of each and every component. So let's dive into. A typical access control door consists of several components. It's like control device or readers, the locking components, door contact, regs or exit button, the access credentials, and obviously the access management software. Now let's dive deeper into the details of these key components of an access control system installed at the door and understand the function of each and every components. The first and most important component is the access device, or you can say the reader. It can be the card reader or a fingerprint reader or a facial recognition reader or even a reader that supports all the credentials such as face, finger, card, PIN, mobile and QR code as well. The readers collects and verifies the credential of a user based on the schedule rights assigned. Modern readers are standalone devices that make decision, grant access directly, and then trigger the relay to disengage the lock. Unlike older systems that requires a separate controller for decision making and controlling the locks, these modern readers doesn't require a controller. That is why we call it reader cum controller as well. But still, there are several readers in the market that needs a controller. It totally depends on the site requirements through which architecture you actually want to go ahead. The second component is the locking component. This is something that holds the door and unlocks it when triggered by the access reader or controller after the user access credential and schedule verification. The most commonly used locks are electromagnetic locks. There are more lock types as well, such as drop bolt locks and strike locks, which can be used based upon the requirements. The next component is door contact. So, this is a sensor that monitors the door position of the door and it is installed with the lock, and sometimes it is the part of the lock as well. It detects the real-time door status and sends the signal to control device or readers. If the door is open, closed, left open or forcefully open without any authorization. Based on the signal received from the door contact, control device or access reader can trigger the alert and alarm if any unauthorized activity is detected. So next is exit button. So this exit button is often called as REX and also known as a request to exit button. It is installed at the exit side of the door and it allows user to unlock the doors by pressing the button or by waving on it depending on the feature of REX. In some cases, readers are installed both sides of the doors for enhanced security, and in that case this REX may not be required. And while exiting the door, user need to present their credential such as face, finger, card or PIN. Now the next component is access credentials. So access credentials are unique identifier for each individuals. There can be multiple access credentials, but it typically falls into three different categories. The first category is something you are. This refers to a user's biometric attributes such as their face, fingerprint, iris, or other physical characteristics. The second category is something you have. This includes physical or virtual items assigned by the security administrator, such as a RFID card, mobile device, or a QR code. And the third category is something you know. This is the security information that user knows, like a password or a PIN. The must-to-have access component is the access management software. Any access control system requires a software to configure and manage the hardware, events, and alerts. This software stores user information and their calendar rights, and an administrator can assign or revoke user access with just a click of a button. And it enables centralized management without the need to visit each and every individual readers or the doors to update access permissions. These hardware and software work seamlessly together to ensure efficient and secure access management. There are few other access components as well, and among all those, the most important is the BGU, which is often called break glass unit. This is something which is used in case of emergency to disengage the lock. Now let's quickly summarize how all this access system works. So, when a user approaches the door, they swipe their credentials. It can be a face, finger, card, PIN, QR, anything. And if the verification is successful and they have the necessary calendar right, a signal is sent to the lock to disengage and allowing the access. For exiting, it depends the setup. The user can either press an exit button, or if there is a reader installed, user can swipe their credential again to unlock the door. Now, here is where the security comes. If the door is left open for too long, the door sensor detects it and sends a signal to the control device or a reader, and so the control device and reader can trigger an alert. And if someone tries to forcefully open the door without the authorization, the system generates another security alert. So this wraps up our overview of access control basics. We have covered what access control is, the key components, and how they work together to secure your premise. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights into security system and technologies. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.